Today, we know if you're here today, it's because you're someone who really cares about kids and you want to help kids live their best life while living your best life too. So we've designed this masterclass for people who are curious about what life coaching for kids is all about. By the end of the masterclass, we promise that you'll not only understand what it's all about, but you also know whether or not it's something that you might love to do. So to help demonstrate the impact of children's coaching, we're going to be focusing on a case study about a 9-year-old girl who was coached by wisdom coach Rahima. And we're actually going to start with the end of the story with this video.
I've been coaching her for about 4 weeks. Her mom had parent teacher interviews. At this point, we had completed about 4 skill books. And I soon after had a session with her mom, and she was quite excited. She said her teachers were asking her, "Oh my goodness, what have you done differently with this child?" She was talking differently and walking differently, and she was trying things she normally wouldn't want to try. She was more loving to her family. And she also noticed that she seemed to just like herself more. So she was really even, making that effort to clean up her room. So it was so wonderful to see. And it's just amazing how we have the privilege to help these children change their lives and give them the tools they can use for the rest of their lives.
Just imagine how amazing it would feel to have that kind of impact on a child within just a few coaching sessions. So we're going to be sharing more about this success story and how wisdom coach Rahima achieved these results using our story-based coaching system throughout the masterclass. So today we're going to answer two of the biggest questions that most people have about becoming a life coach for kids, and you might have those as well. The first is, how can I be confident that I can effectively coach kids? And the second is, how can I create a successful business as a life coach for kids? Each of these is a really important question because there's two sides of the coin to being successful as a life coach for kids. You've got the business side and the coaching side. So we're going to guide you through both of these. And I do want to acknowledge that it's how important the business side of this is, because your success on the business side means that more kids get coached and get to have better lives. And it means that you get to do what you want to do from a work perspective. Towards the end of today's masterclass, we're going to step you through how you can quick start your business so that you can get a fast return on your investment and start earning income. Many of our coaches have created very successful part-time businesses and even new full-time businesses coaching kids, and you can too. So we're also going to share with you how you can start teaching the mindset skill of self-talk to the children in your lives starting today. We're going to be sharing the resources with you and tell you exactly how to get those. So why are we doing this masterclass now? Well, children are really needing our support. Children's mental health was in trouble before the pandemic. And even though it's been years since we've emerged from it, children are really struggling. And it doesn't matter what background, country, culture, religion, millions of kids are really struggling with how they feel about themselves day to day. And that's where life coaching for kids can help. Because if you look at mental health on a continuum with mental wellness on one end and mental illness on the other end, our counselors and therapists, now they can support children across the entire continuum. However, their primary focus is really on helping children who are struggling move back to a state of mental well-being and or being able to function in day-to-day life. As a coach, you're going to focus more on the mental wellness side, really supporting children with prevention. It's non-clinical, so you're not diagnosing or treating a mental health disorder, and it's skills-based. So you're helping kids proactively develop skills for resilience, coping, learning how to navigate life's disappointments or changes, helping them proactively build their confidence and self-esteem, learning how to set and achieve their goals, and so much more as you're going to hear about today. So you're in the right place today if you're someone who just loves kids and you want to be part of the solution, and you want purpose and appreciation in your work, and you want flexibility in your life, and if you're looking for a proven step-by-step way to help you achieve this. I'm Renee Thornborough. I'm the founder of Adventures in Wisdom. I'm here today with Karen Robertson. She's our Senior Director of Coach Success. She's also a certified wisdom coach herself and practicing, currently coaching kids. Yes, we are related. Karen is my twin sister. I live in Texas, and she's lived in Australia for, gosh, almost 30 years. So if you hear an accent from either one of us, that would be why. And while we are your live presenters today, you're also going to be hearing from some of our certified wisdom coaches through video. So you're going to hear from real life coaches from around the world in their own words about some of the topics we're talking about today. Raheem and Delia are in Canada, Tom, Tara, and Deanna are in the United States, Jean is in the UK, and Ina is in New Zealand. So our promise is to use this. By the end of the masterclass, you're going to understand what life coaching for kids is, what types of people become coaches, how you can effectively coach kids, how you can succeed on the business side, how you can get started, but most important is this right for you? Before I pass the baton over to Karen, two really important things. We're going to hold questions until the end, but you can enter them at any time using the questions tool at the bottom of your Zoom screen. Also, we encourage you to stay until the end of the masterclass because we have an incredible gift I know you're going to be excited about. We're also going to share a savings code with you. That's going to help you earn two special bonuses as well as a discount towards enrollment if you decide that Coaching Kids is for you. So with that, I'm going to pass the baton over to Karen.
Thanks, Renee. I'm sorry that was me coughing like crazy. All right, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is what is life coaching for kids? And I want to start with why it's needed because kids they face all kinds of challenges when growing up, and often when faced with challenges or disappointments in life, many children just don't have the skills to handle it. And the fact of the matter is that no matter how much we love our children, we can't give them confidence and we can't give them self-esteem and we can't give them success in life either. But we can help them develop it themselves by teaching them mindset skills. So, mindset skills are all about teaching kids how to use the power of their thoughts and the power of their minds to create happiness, confidence, self esteem, resilience, self leadership, respect, and so much more. Life coaches help kids learn, understand, and practice mindset skills. They help kids learn how to identify and shift limiting beliefs and also proactively create supporting beliefs. This is also known as having a growth mindset. They help kids identify and own their uniqueness and really go for it in life. And at Adventures in Wisdom, we believe that every child deserves to see the magnificence inside of themselves. We want them to be able to handle life's curveballs like disappointments and change, and to be able to reach their fullest potential. And it's our experience that mindset development that is delivered through life coaching transforms the lives of kids and their families. Adventures in Wisdom certifies people like you in teaching these mindset skills to kids using a proven story-based curriculum and story coaching process that gets lasting results for kids. And since 2013, we've certified many hundreds of coaches in more than 30 countries, coaches who are empowering children and impacting families and communities around the world. And these are skills that kids will use throughout school and for life. Wisdom coaches love what they do because they're really making a difference in kids' lives. Let's see what Tom has to say.
I help build confidence. I help kids with their anxiety. I help motivate kids. I help them just feel good about themselves and help them realize that when those negative thoughts come in, you don't have to believe them because that when they see it and they get it and they experience it, it's the best.
It is, it's life-changing for them. So let's shift gears and let's talk about what kinds of people become coaches. So, wisdom coaches tend to have three things in common. They love kids, they love personal development, and they feel that helping and empowering children is part of their own life purpose. And they come from all walks of life. So, many are life coaches for adults who understand that the limiting beliefs that are formed in childhood have a lifelong impact. So, they really want to help kids learn these skills, these mindset skills, when they're young, so they can have a great life. Many are educators like Rahima and Tom who are passionate about developing the whole child. They really want to help kids have that growth mindset and that social emotional learning they need to really be all they can be. Some are counselors and therapists who want to be proactive in helping kids to develop these resilience and coping skills and to have strong mental health. And they want to add new tools to their toolbox. We also have sports coaches, tutors, extracurricular teachers, volunteers. People understand that mindset is a critical part of success on the field or on the stage, on the canvas, and in whatever it is that kids do. And many are parents, grandparents, and caregivers who start out wanting to help the children in their own lives, and then they get excited about helping other kids. Wisdom coaches are passionate about kids, and you might be excited about helping kids as well, but maybe feeling a little uncertain about taking a new leap for yourself. So I'm going to pass it over to Renee, and she's going to share about a time when she felt that way and what made her take a new leap. So Renee, over to you.
When it comes to thinking about taking a new leap and maybe feeling a little bit nervous about it, Believe me, I get it. I'd love to take just a minute and share my story with you and how Adventures in Wisdom came to be. So before I started Adventures in Wisdom, I was vice president of marketing for a company that served schools. I love what we did, love my team, of course, making a great income, but something was missing. I really had this desire to bring life coaching to kids. You see, I first discovered personal development and mindset work when I graduated from college. And I remember thinking to myself, why didn't I learn this when I was a kid? It made no sense to me that the personal development world and the life coaching industry focuses on grown-ups. And those core thoughts and beliefs that shape who we are and what we think is possible for our lives are formed when we're really young. I knew that when I had children, I wanted them to learn this powerful way of thinking. And over the years, I've become an expert in personal development. Well, when my kids were young, I started looking for tools to help me share these powerful mindset skills with them. But I couldn't find anything out there. Plenty on how to get my kids to behave, but nothing on mindset development. And when I started talking with my kids, sometimes it felt a little lecture or boring, and I didn't want my kids rolling their eyes every time I opened my mouth. So I started writing stories, and that really was when the magic started. Because they love the stories, but more important, they were learning the concepts. And the turning point really happened for me when they went to elementary school. Because when I was they were in elementary school, I was volunteering more in school, sports coaching, scouts, that kind of thing. And I started seeing how many children really struggled with their confidence, with how they felt about themselves, with being able to bounce back from disappointments. And I even observed my own children in new situations. And it's like, wow, here I had a handful of stories, and I'm thinking these stories can really help children. But not only that, there's other skills that I really wanted to develop. And I knew that I had something really special that I wanted to bring to children and to parents and to families. And I knew I couldn't do that with a full-time job and raising my kids. It took a lot for me to make that leap, from leaving a very successful corporate career to starting a business. So if you're feeling a little nervous about doing something new, I totally get it because I've been there before. But I also want you to know that we believe in you. We've helped so many coaches around the world do it as well for over 13 years. In your leap, it can be any size. Most of our coaches start out part-time, while others go all in. It really is up to you. I'd love for you to meet Wisdom Coach Tara. She started her life coaching for kids business in February of 2020, so it was right as the pandemic was hitting. And she shares why she wanted to coach children.
I was working with kids for about 10 years in school settings, daycare settings. And then after I had my son, I went on my own personal development journey. And during my journey, I learned a lot about growth mindset, emotional development, and mindfulness. And a lot of the things that I was learning, I remember saying to myself, wow, if I could have had this knowledge and had these tools when I was growing up, it could have made such a difference. For instance, I didn't understand growing up that my mistakes weren't who I was. So I carried my mistakes with me and I let my mistakes define me. And I was like, wow, this is such a big thing that I know a lot of adults, they still do carry their mistakes with them. And to be able to give kids this knowledge, wow, that's powerful. So I think that's what really started my idea of like, okay, I need to figure out a way to get this information that I'm learning as an adult. And I need to be able to give this to kids. I was scrolling on Facebook one day and I saw Adventures in Wisdom and I was like, this looks pretty cool. So I checked it out and I was like, this is exactly what I'm looking for. This is the curriculum, everything is exactly what I'm looking to do. So then I went in and I started looking at all the different skill sets they offered. I'm like, this is perfect. So then right then and there, I just signed up to become a life coach for kids through Adventures in Wisdom.
And Tara celebrated her anniversary with this Facebook post. She shares here that I've finally found my purpose. I've come so far personally and in my business. I'm filled with so much love and joy. Finding this certification program changed my life. So if you're feeling that desire to do this type of work with children, here's our invitation to you. We're asking children to believe in themselves. So we're inviting you to believe in yourself as well, because we get to be the models for our kids. And the great news is that our curriculum is a mindset curriculum. The very skills that you're going to be helping children develop are going to support you on your path as well. We know that you can do this. So let's answer that first big question people have about becoming a life coach for kids, and that is, how can I effectively coach kids? And the word effectively is really important here because we want to make sure that children not only understand these concepts, but they actually apply them to their lives and they actually use them going forward. So in this section, we're going to share why wisdom coaching is so effective. What does a coaching session actually look like? What skills do you help children develop? And why we're confident that you can be confident coaching kids too. So let's start with why wisdom coaching is so effective. Our coaches often get results from the very first session. What's unique about Adventures in Wisdom is that we use coaching stories as a foundation for coaching to help teach mindset skills to kids. And we have a step-by-step story coaching system that's delivered live by a coach. And this really ensures that kids learn, understand, and experience these skills. So let's talk about why we use stories to teach mindset skills. Then we'll talk about the story coaching process. Since 2013, we've worked with coaches from all around the world. We have seen time and again that stories are the most effective way to make lasting change. Several reasons for this, but the number one is proven brain science. You see, when we hear facts, that intellectual region of our brain that turns words into meaning is most engaged. However, when we hear a story, not only is that intellectual region of our brain engaged, but so are the sensory regions as to imagine experiencing what the characters are experiencing. And the emotional regions of the brain, to imagine feeling what the characters are feeling. Because more of the brain is involved, it's going to create an experience, which is going to have stronger memories around both the story and the lessons from the story. Stories are also a very powerful, non-threatening way to help kids learn how to navigate life. You know, most kids, they don't like to talk about feeling nervous or afraid, but they love to talk about grungies and dragons. These are terms from our curriculum that give kids a safe way to talk about what they're feeling and what they're thinking. Also with stories, you can use the characters and situations from the stories in your coaching. So for example, the story that teaches kids about having an I can do it mindset is called Canville and Cantville, A Tale of Two Towns. So let's say you're working with a child and they're getting down on themselves, thinking they can't do something. Just ask them the question, what would this look like if you're living in Canville? That question takes them back to the story and remembering how they can approach the situation more powerfully using the skills that you've helped them to develop. Let's hear what Wisdom Coach Deanna has to say about the terminology.
You're living in Cantville or Canville. Which one are you in today? You know, just little things that you can just use in the kids. And I love, my biggest pitch with the parents is, hey, the terminology. Like we do grungies and dragons. And they're like, what? You know, and just the terminology in itself, it helps the kids, you know, just seeing their face. I'll ask them, what's that grungy you're feeling? And they're like, oh, I'm feeling, because it opens up the conversation. You know, I'm not asking them, are you mad because I see their face? I'm asking them, what are you feeling? And it's helping them at the same time indirectly understand that, hey, I don't have to feel this way. But guess what? I also know tools. I know self-talk now to get myself out of these limited beliefs. You know, and just the terminology for me is everything.
The stories are great for refreshers, and they really do add a lot of fun to the coaching process. It supports you in working with children without being lectury or boring. So that's why stories are the foundation of the Adventures in Wisdom coaching curriculum. And these stories cover 27 different mindset skills. Now, each skill has a story that's written in a fable format. It's designed to teach that specific skill. We have a central character. He appears in all 27 of the stories, and that's Wyatt the Wise Wizard. Wyatt is the mentor who helps the characters of the story understand how to navigate the challenges and situations that they're facing in the story, and then how to use the mindset skills to solve the problem at hand so that they can be more empowered in their lives. So you can kind of think of Wyatt as your partner in coaching kids. But you might be wondering, you know, why do we use live coaching as our model? Why don't we just put the stories in a video or an app? We use live coaching for two reasons. First is how children learn best. And second, children listen to coaches. First, let's talk about how kids learn. It's really about brain development. You see, a child's brain is not fully developed. The frontal lobes of their brain where critical thinking and reasoning occurs is not fully developed. So it's one of the reasons why the coaching model for adults is very heavily based on using questions. That's going to require your critical reasoning skills. That's not going to work for kids. In fact, it's going to frustrate kids. Coaching kids requires that we add a teaching component that helps lay this foundation of knowledge and understanding. And our coaching stories are designed to do just that. Then as the coach, you can reference the characters and the situations from the stories in your work with kids. So you're going to have discussion questions, multisensory activities to really create an experience for the child so they have a chance to understand and practice the skill and apply these skills to their own lives under your guidance as their coach. The other reason why we use live coaching is that kids listen to coaches. Coaching is all about human to human connection, providing that emotionally safe space for a child to learn these skills. And as a wisdom coach, you're part of that child's team. At Adventures in Wisdom, we know that teaching these mindset skills and using this live coaching model really does transform the lives of children and has a ripple effect in their families. With that, back to Karen, and she's going to answer, what does a wisdom coaching session actually look like?
Thanks, Renee. So yeah, I can't wait to tell you about this because this process really works. And when I first got certified, first of all, the interviews that you've seen are the ones that I conducted, and that's why I became a wisdom coach. I joined Adventures in Wisdom to do marketing projects. And then when I interviewed the coaches, I was so inspired by how much they loved their lives and what they were doing, and then the results they were having with kids. That's why I got certified. And then when I went to do my first coaching session, I was like, oh my gosh, I had gotten certified, but I just followed the story coaching process and it worked. And you talk about the transformation for the child and the family. The very first little girl I worked with, she was nearly 6 years old and was afraid about going to school. She had a lot of anxiety, but also she was freaked out by her swimming lessons. And just within 2 sessions, she went to her swimming lessons and did everything. And all I did was follow this story coaching process I'm about to take you through now. So I was absolutely hooked working with my first child, like incredible. So let's talk about this. So to demonstrate how the story coaching process works, I'm going to show you how we teach the mindset skill of self-talk using a coaching story and that story coaching process. And you'll see how simple it is. So first of all, self-talk is a critical mindset skill for children. It's so important that we give this one to you as a gift so that you can try this at home. We want you to experience what this is like. So that's why we're walking you through it. So the first thing to know is that in the curriculum, each mindset skill is taught using what's called a skill book that has 2 parts. There's the mentor's guide with the coaching tips for you and the background information. And then there's a children's guide with the coaching story, discussion questions, and activity. And the story coaching process includes a coaching tool for each step. So we'll walk through it now. You start by sharing a story. So in the self-talk skill book that you'll get, the story is called Choosing Your BFF or Best Friend Forever. And in the story, little Trudy the tortoise, who's the main character, is with her 2 best friends, Positive Pam and Negative Nikki. Now, Positive Pam is talking really nicely to her, but Negative Nikki's not being very nice. So the kids can very quickly see which friend they'd rather be around. But it's an aha moment for children when they realize that Positive Pam and Negative Nikki each live in their mind and that they get to choose to listen to Positive Pam and be their own BFF. So the story really helps kids learn about the skill of self-talk. Step 2 is to talk about the story and the skill. So the skill book guides you here. It includes discussion questions that are child-friendly and scenarios. So you practice identifying and shifting negative self-talk, and you also practice proactively creating positive self-talk. So exploring the skill with you, the coach, through talking helps children understand that skill. Next, you organize an activity to help kids practice and experience that skill. So for example, one of the activities for practicing positive self-talk is called the mirror mantra, where kids can choose a positive phrase or a mantra that they're going to say to themselves whenever they see their own reflection. And for fun, we always like to make or decorate a mirror, and then kids can practice their mirror mantra and then take that mirror home with them as a memory marker to remind them. It's such a powerful activity and so much fun for kids. So you will be able to do these first 3 steps using the self-talk skill book from this masterclass that you'll be getting. Now, as a wisdom coach, there are 2 more steps that you do after this. At the end of the session, you do step 4, which is review the key learnings with the parent. So often I like to have the child explain what they've learned. And then you hand over the Wisdom for Home summary sheet to the parent so that they can continue the conversation at home. And this really helps deepen the learning between the sessions. And then finally, you confirm the learning in the next session by using a set of practice exercises that take about 5 minutes. So we call them whys in fives. And that checks the retention of the previous lesson. And I find kids always remember the previous lesson. So the story coaching process really works because it's helping kids learn, understand, and then practice that skill so they actually learn it and use it in life. And it's your personal connection as a coach that turns information into transformation for children. And it's so effective and it's such a fun way to work with kids. So Renee, back to you.
So let's talk about the actual skills you help kids develop. Karen took you through the example of self-talk. That's just one of the 27 mindset skills in the Adventures in Wisdom curriculum. So the skills would sit within 5 areas of social emotional development. We call this the wisdom system for coaching kids. So in the first segment, mind power, you help children learn all about the power of their mind and how their thoughts shape their experiences and what they can do to shape their thoughts. This is the key to confidence, self-esteem, resilience, achievement, and even happiness. It gets deep into mindset and the brain science behind it, and it's the foundation for all of the skills that you help children develop. There are 5 skill books in the Mind Power segment. Then Inner Power helps children learn how to manage peer pressure. Now, peer pressure is not only one of the toughest situations children face while growing up, it's also one of the top reasons why kids get into trouble. So first, you're going to support children in deciding who they want to be from a character level. So developing their inner compass, specifically focusing on the skills of self-responsibility, integrity, respect, and self-respect. Once kids are grounded in who they want to be, you're going to teach them a process for making decisions and deciding what they want for themselves. And then you move into helping children learn how to identify 5 different types of peer pressure and how to say no to their peers and yes to themselves. With Inner Power, you give children a gift that they can use for the rest of their lives because the time to work with kids on the issues they're going to face in middle school and high school is before they get there. There are 6 skill books in the Inner Power segment. Then with Me Power, you can help children discover and own who they are, building powerful self-esteem from the inside out, so that how they feel about themselves doesn't rise and fall with the ups and downs of growing up. You're also going to help children learn to honor their uniqueness, to create courage, and to own their confidence, so that they can live life with a belief system of I can do anything. Confidence, self-esteem, these are both skills that can be developed, and you're going to show kids how. There's 5 skill books in the Me Power segment. Then with Dream Power, you help children learn how to make their dreams come true using mindset skills and brain science. So you're going to help kids discover how to live life with intention versus drifting through life. You're going to help them learn the brain science behind achievement and how to use goal setting and the law of attraction tools of visualization, affirmations, and gratitude to manifest their dreams. There are 6 skill books in the Dream Power segment. Then with Slaying Dragons, you help kids learn how to handle the tough stuff in life. Kids are going to learn what causes fear and how to move through it to create courage. They develop skills for managing changes in life, whether it's changing schools or something as hard as divorcing parents, and how to manage mistakes, move past disappointments. Building these resilience and coping skills, this is critical because it really helps children learn how to navigate life without getting down on themselves or giving up on themselves. Because the key to handling the tough stuff in life, to slaying these dragons, is mindset. It's all about how kids think. There's 5 skill books in the Slaying Dragons segment. Can you imagine how incredible it would have been to learn these skills at such a young age? Let's go back to Wisdom Coach Rahima, who we met at the very beginning of the masterclass. Let's hear what mindset skills and stories she used that had teachers asking her mom, what have you done differently with this child?
So she had some favorite skill books that we went through. The first one was Who's Flying Your Plane? She learned about how her mind works and about limiting and supportive beliefs and what some of her limiting beliefs were. And we discovered during one of the sessions that one of her limiting beliefs were that she was messy. So we then focused on putting on her power goggles and power shifting and focused on a new supportive belief of how organized she is. And when we went and did a vision board, she colored in this beautifully organized room and put it up on her vision board and put the vision board up in her room, which was wonderful. And her mom was just, oh my goodness, I can't believe this. And then we went to Yucky Me, Yahoo Me. There, she learned about what self esteem is and that positive self esteem is a choice for her, how to develop it, and then the exercises to support her. She learned all about Yahoo Talk and realized that she had a choice of how she could actually speak to herself. So, there we worked on mirror mantras and positive self talk. The sun, the wind, and the rain was one of her favorite stories. So there we learned about uniqueness, particularly in relation to her client, to my client, and her siblings, and the value that she brings to the world and that she can really accomplish anything. So we then worked on an activity. It was a poster called The Gift of Me, where we honored everything about her. So she wrote down her favorite foods, activities, subjects, her best friends, her goals, and of course, her dreams. And one of her goals was this one particular unit in math that she found difficult. By the end of our sessions, she ended up getting 95% on that math test. And she was just over the moon, say. So after I'd been coaching her for about 4 weeks, her mom had parent teacher interviews. At this point, we had completed about 4 skill books. And I soon after had a session with her mom, and she was quite excited. She said her teachers were asking her, "Oh my goodness, what have you done differently with this child?" She was talking differently and walking differently, and she was trying things she normally wouldn't want to try. She was more loving to her family, and she also noticed that she seemed to just like herself more. So she was really even, making that effort to clean up her room. So it was so wonderful to see. And it's just amazing how we have the privilege to help these children change their lives and give them the tools they can use for the rest of their lives.
And these are the life-changing skills you could be helping children develop so they can reach their fullest potential and handle anything that life throws their way. And feeling like Rahima is feeling, just really fulfilled by this opportunity to support children in this way. So I'm going to turn it back over to Karen. She's going to share with you about the flexibility we've built into the program to help you do your work in the world.
Thanks, Renee. So while a lot of wisdom coaching is designed to guide you step by step, it's important to know that we are flexible with how you coach children because our goal for you is that you create a business that you love. So we don't dictate how you have to work with kids. Instead, we give you a powerful, flexible curriculum that you can start using immediately and integrate into your own coaching style. Many of our coaches also bring their other passions and skills and talents to their work with kids. So things like yoga, drama, dance, sport, music, art, breath work, even EFT tapping and equine work. Let's watch as wisdom coach Ina shares how she brings her uniqueness to coaching.
Do have a niche in, and what I love about the course in Adventures in Wisdom in general is that when we become a coach, the curriculum is all there. But as coaches, we are unique. If we're doing this work ourselves, we are unique. So I do a lot of, breath work and meditation, and I bring that into my courses, into my one-on-one.
And so you can do single topic workshops. You can work one-on-one. You can do groups. You can do after-school programs, summer camps. It's really up to you and how you want to work with kids. And you have flexibility with how you deliver the live coaching as well. You can coach in person or online. And many of our coaches have clients around the world because they coach online, and you can do that as well if you want. So because of this flexibility, no two wisdom coaches' businesses are the same. Some of our coaches use our program in 100% of their business. And that's what I do. I just do that straight wisdom coaching. Well, for others, we're a critical part of their toolbox, but represent a smaller part of what they do. Some people focus on girls, some on middle schoolers, some on children with learning differences. It's really up to you. So Renee, back to you.
Yeah, so let's talk about why we're confident that you can be confident coaching kids too. And that's because we're going to make sure you're ready through the Wisdom Coach Certification Program. So the process is designed to give you confidence in using the curriculum from day one of getting certified. So you're going to get certified in the complete curriculum. So all 27 of the skill books that I just walked you through a minute ago. And it's a 3-step process. The first step is to go through the curriculum itself. And it really is a lot of fun because most of your time is spent with the stories and what you're actually using with kids. And you can get started very quickly because it's delivered electronically. So you have immediate access when you enroll. In fact, many of our coaches get started the same day. It's available in two formats. There's a PDF format that you can download to an e-reader or print, and we have an MP3 audio format that you can actually listen to. And what's a lot of fun is if you happen to have kids in your home, they make really great study buddies. Now, your second step is to complete your certification test. And we actually call this the confidence builder because it's designed to take you through the key learnings of the curriculum. You can reference your materials. You can take as much time as you need. We don't want this to be a stressful process. It really is designed to be an empowering process so that you feel confident and ready to use the curriculum with children. Then you receive your certification, you can start coaching kids. The great news is that you're in control of where, when, and how fast you get certified because you learn on your own or in your own home, on your own time, at your own pace. So no expensive travel to have to deal with, no time zones to juggle. We recommend that you budget about 18 to 27 hours or so, go through everything once, just see what's there, experience the stories, then request your test because the test is going to take you through the key learnings from the curriculum again. Most of our coaches complete their certification within just a few short weeks. It's really up to you, though, if you want to move faster or slower through the certification. One thing I'd love to share is that I've received so many emails from our coaches who've gone through our certification, and they love this process because going through the stories and learning the skills in this way, it's fun and transformational for them as well. So let's go back to that first common question that coaches often have. That's how can I effectively coach kids? Or can I effectively coach kids? I hope you're saying to yourself, yes, I can. So over to Karen. She's going to share with you about the business side of coaching kids.
Thanks, Renee. So, how can I create a successful business as a life coach for kids? It's a really important question. And remember, there are two sides of the coin of being successful as a life coach for kids. The first one is you need to have a child-focused curriculum and coaching tools so you can coach kids effectively. And that's what we just talked about. The second part of that is you've got to be able to find kids to coach and build your business. So let's start by seeing what Senior Wisdom Coach Delia has to say.
The business help, which is very unique in the Adventures in Wisdom certification program. Not many life coaching programs offer that. They would offer, what to work with, but they wouldn't offer the business help. And that's very important because you can get very, discouraged if you don't have the help to understand the way you would set up your business and the way you would do your marketing and the way you would reach out to people, especially at the beginning, to say that, hey, I'm doing this and, I would appreciate your help, spread the word kind of things.
So let's talk about how we support you in your success. So after you complete your certification, you get access to a whole world of resources. And these really fall into three key categories. There are coaching business tools, marketing resources, and then coach support and community. So the first thing is you're going to need tools to help you with the business of being a coach. So we provide coaching business tools like intake forms, a sample coaching agreement, a completion form, and certificates for the kids you coach. Next, you'll need marketing resources to help promote your services and find kids to coach. Now, the great news here is that rather than you starting from nothing with your marketing, you'll be able to immediately leverage the marketing engine that Adventures in Wisdom has in place. So you can communicate that you are certified and part of a reputable organization. So you'll get a certified Wisdom Coach logo to use in your marketing. You get a free listing on our corporate website in the Wisdom Coach directory. You can use your logo, name, photo, and contact details in our co-branded collateral. You get access to thought leadership content like our special report and our photo book that you can share with people to help them understand the proven value of life coaching for kids. You get a parent checklist that you can share with parents to help them see when wisdom coaching would be helpful for their child. You can even share Renee's book, A Parent's Guide to Life Coaching for Kids, When to Add a Coach to Your Parenting Team. We also have interviews, testimonials, case studies, and videos that you can share about life coaching for kids and the positive impact that wisdom coaching is having on children and their families. For example, Renee was interviewed by Jack Canfield, who's one of the global leaders in the personal development world, and he loves what we're doing and he recommends our program as well. So we created videos and testimonial images from that interview for our coaches to use in their own marketing. Have a look at what Jack has to say.
So I'm sitting here thinking I need to tell every trainer I've ever trained, which is about 4,000 of them, go get trained by you. Add this to their tool bag, if you will.
Yeah. Life coaching is a game changer for our children. If you think about it, they're spending thousands of hours learning their ABCs and their 1, 2, 3s, but they're not learning that one thing that has the greatest impact on their lives. And that's how to develop their mindset, which is the key to self-esteem, confidence, and success.
That is so valuable. It's like, because we're not learning that in school in general.
Stories are absolutely the most effective way to bring life coaching to children.
Stories really Velcro the message to the brain, if you will. I highly recommend what you're doing. It is so valuable and it's so complete. That's what I love about it, and obviously really effective.
We also love to spotlight our coaches' success in our social media as well. So just imagine hooking up your new business to that marketing engine. Next, if you have questions along the way, we're here to help with coach support and community. As a member of our private Facebook group, you'll meet wisdom coaches from around the world who are supporting and encouraging each other. Renee and I are in there, our team's in there. It's such a great way to get your questions answered, get new ideas, get feedback, and to feel supported so you're not on your own. You can also join live Q&A calls to get your questions answered as well. Next, we've also created 2 additional packages to help you get started. The first one is Done For You Marketing and Coaching Tools. So to help you get started, we've created a set of 5 coaching package templates that help you jumpstart creating workshops or one-on-one coaching packages for your clients. Now, a coaching package is simply a subset of the curriculum. It's usually 5 to 9 skill books that are grouped together that covers the most popular topics where parents are looking for support for their children. So there's one for confidence, self-esteem, resilience, peer pressure, and achieving goals. We also have 3 back-to-school templates as well. We've also created a slide set for each of the 27 skill books so you can immediately start running workshops instead of spending hours trying to put slides together. And also, marketing is all about building relationships with people you meet so that they'll think of you when they want support for their children. So one of the ways to build relationships is to share helpful content. So we've created a package of articles that you can use in your emails or newsletter that will help parents understand more about how it is that you help kids. These articles will save you the stress of trying to figure out what to write about and hours of writing time as well. Then the 4th tool is we give you a set of email templates that you can use to engage with parents throughout the coaching process. So these touch points really help parents see the value of the coaching that you're doing and the impact that it's having with their child. And it helps the parent to continue the conversation at home between the coaching sessions. We also have a special template for you to inspire parents to enroll their child in your next coaching package. The second thing that we put together for you is business training. Now, one of the biggest questions we get is, how do I find kids to coach? And that's where the Business Accelerator curriculum and action plans come into play. And it's an incredible training that is specifically created for wisdom coaches. And it's all about how to start your business and get your first clients and grow a sustainable business. So whether you're wanting to just coach kids part-time and serve a few clients each month, or if you want to change careers and develop a full-time coaching practice, the Business Accelerator can help you get there. So let's have a quick look at what's in it. First, you receive more than 20 training modules, each with an action plan to help support you in key areas of your business. For example, do you have any questions on how you even get started? Well, you'll learn the first steps to quick starting your business. And if you're new to coaching kids, you'll learn how to create belief in yourself when you're first starting out. Next, you learn how to say what you do and how to communicate the benefit of life coaching for kids so that instead of struggling with what to put in your marketing, you'll use message makers that are just plug and play. It's done for you. Next, are you curious about how you price your services? Well, we've got you covered there in two really important areas of pricing. The first one is your mindset around pricing and developing confidence in charging for your services. And then you also learn specific tips for packaging and pricing your services and then messaging the value of your services as well. The next step in the training is sales. So there are two secrets to sales. The first one is mindset. So if you feel anxious at all about having conversations, we start the mindset around sales that you learn how to approach that sales process feeling really empowered. And the second secret is process. So you learn how to actually have the sales conversations using a proven model for selling life coaching so that you can have connected conversations with confidence and ease without feeling salesy, whether you're talking to somebody in person or over the phone. I love having these types of conversations with parents because they're looking for someone who can support them and help them. And it's just so rewarding for these parents and for you. Now, you'll also learn two of the most effective ways to generate leads and find coaching clients. You'll learn a process for onboarding clients, guidelines on how to structure your coaching sessions, tips for engaging with kids, so much more. So this powerful curriculum and all of these tools were custom designed for you, our wisdom coaches, to help you accelerate your business success. So you might wonder, how do you navigate all of this? Because there's a lot. And that's where your success map comes in. So your success map is your guide to the specific actions that are mapped to available resources that are going to help you create success in your business at each stage. So I'll quickly show you how it works. So for each stage, there's a set of key steps to complete. And then for each step, there's a breakout of actions to take along with a little map to the resources to use to help you complete the action. So if you're in action, you can create success in your business. Our coaches just love these resources, and here's what Tara had to say. She said the Business Accelerator is amazing because it helps you learn the ins and outs of business that you don't always know when you're first starting out. So just take a moment to imagine what it would be like to feel at ease having conversations with parents and decision makers, to feel confident knowing that you're going to know what to say, how to charge, how to have those conversations, the value you're going to deliver. Imagine all of the children you're going to help because you know what to say and how to say it. This is all what's possible for you. And just imagine how it's going to feel to know that your work is changing the lives of children and your own life as well. Rahima shares here what it feels like for her.
It is the most fulfilling thing I have ever done. And I have worked with children for over 15 years. When I think about having a business where you're able to teach these mindset skills to children, where they can become these people that doing things that they never thought that they could do, realizing that they have this unlimited potential and they can reach for goals that they never thought before were possible. And then they end up reaching them. And you actually have a business around this. That's just awesome.
And it really is. I just went and watched one of my clients perform on a stage show. She had the lead. It's a Broadway level show in Sydney. 10 years old she is now. When I worked with her at the age 7, she had so much anxiety. School drop-off was a nightmare. She couldn't go to parties. She got stressed out on holidays. And within a year of working with her, we had did 12 sessions. She was class captain, started singing and performing, and that girl owned that show. And she was so excited that I was there. I took her at the Wise Wizard, and her mom and dad were in tears, her grandmother. We were just blown away about what she did. So it's life-changing for them, but it's life-changing for you to have that kind of effect on a child. So let's go back to the second, I'm going to cry. Let's go back to that second question. Can I create a successful business as a life coach for kids? I hope you're saying to yourself, yes, I can. And I hope you can see as well how committed we are to supporting you on both the coaching side and the business side of being successful as a life coach for kids. Wisdom Coach Jean is a certified life coach in the UK. and she wanted to work with kids. And here's what she said about why she chose Adventures in Wisdom.
It was the whole package. The fact that there was a package to start with, that there was a structure. I love that there's the curriculum. So you can see that you have the 27 stories or topics, and behind that, it's just the wealth of information. I was astounded when I first saw it, because I couldn't believe that there was just so many resources available to you that would actually help you to develop and to build your business. That the community, the Adventures in Wisdom coach community, is amazing, and there's always going to be somebody there that's willing to help you wherever you are on your coaching journey. The fact that all of that information was available to me is what sold me on investing in that package. You can do it. It's a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. Sign up straight away.
Okay, Renee, over to you.
Yeah, just a quick comment about Jean. It's been so beautiful to watch her journey. I think she's been with us 8 or 9 years now, and she decided to focus on children with ADHD because of a family situation. And it's been amazing to watch her grow. She wrote a book. That's what she specializes in now, and does podcast interviews, and it just really is an expert in that space. So that's the niche that she's focused on in helping children. So it's been really a joy to watch her. So let's talk about you. Let's talk about how you can get started, the investment, and how to turn that investment into income. This is going to take about 8 minutes. Then we'll share with you about how to get that free self-talk story that Karen had walked you through earlier when we were talking about the story coaching process. And of course, we'll open it up to the Q&A as well. So getting started, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Your first step is to apply. Share with us your goals for coaching kids. And there's no obligation in applying, no right or wrong answers. If you're feeling inspired, go ahead and submit your application. Your second step is to have a call with one of our success coaches, and they're actually wisdom coaches as well. And together you'll explore your goals and dreams and how to support you in making that happen. Then your third step is say yes to yourself, say yes to getting certified, and you're on your way to coaching kids and bringing this magnificent work to the children in your lives and your community and beyond. So now that you understand the program, the tools, support, and benefits of becoming a certified wisdom coach, what I want to do is kind of walk you through the full value, everything that you get as a wisdom coach. We'll share with you a special offer we've put together and how we can support you in getting started on your path. So with the core wisdom coach certification license, you're going to get licensed to use the Adventures in Wisdom Life Coaching for Kids curriculum. So that's all 27 of the skills or skill books in your business. So that's the mentor's guide, children's guide, workbooks for kids, whys and fives, wisdom for home, take-home sheet. So everything that you need, the tools and resources you need. You're also going to get the coaching business tools like the sample coaching agreement and intake forms that you can customize and use with your own clients. And the marketing resources and access to the Adventures in Wisdom marketing engine to support you with visibility and credibility. And then community and support through our private Facebook group, our live Q&A calls. We just have the best community because all of our people are so passionate about having this type of impact on children, and we're here to support each other. And it's just such a wonderful, beautiful community. So the normal investment for a Wisdom Coach certification license is $49.97. So next, we want to make getting started as easy as possible for you, and that's why we're including our done for you marketing and coaching content. So this is the 5 coaching package templates. Those are the core coaching packages. We actually have 3 back to school as well. So a lot of our coaches are offering those right now. And we have 27 slide sets. So we have 1 slide set for each skill book, plus a set of pre-written articles you can use for marketing and helping spread the word about what you're doing, and then email templates to help you engage with parents throughout the coaching process. All of these resources are valued at $2,500, but just imagine how much time you're going to save because these are done for you and ready to go. And next, you also get that Business Accelerator curriculum with the action plans. So this is really designed to help you get those first clients and build a foundation for long-term success. This curriculum is valued at $5,000. So the total value of the program is $12,497. But here's the exciting news. Your investment today won't be $12,497 because with the savings code I'm about to share with you, you're going to get the done for you content completely free as a bonus, and that Business Accelerator curriculum also included at no charge to you as a super bonus. So it's going to be $7,500 in bonuses to jumpstart your business free to you and reducing your investment to only $49.97. But there's one more thing we want to do for you. We're so committed to helping people like you who are passionate about helping children and helping those children get coached. And to show our appreciation for being here today on this masterclass, we're going to give you an additional $1,000 savings. That's our gift to help you get started right away. So for a limited time, you can actually enroll for only $39.97 in the Wisdom Coach Certification Program. Pretty amazing, isn't it? Let me share with you how to qualify for this offer and the 2 bonuses and special pricing. It's really quite simple. To get this offer, all you have to do is send us the savings code to qualify. There's 2 ways to get that to us, and savings code's up there on your screen in orange. It's Wisdom Stories for Kids. Wisdom Stories for Kids. So go ahead and write that one down. So 2 ways to get that to us. First is when you apply, and you can apply at adventuresinwisdom.com/apply. When you get there, you're going to see a green application, so you know you're in the right place. So just complete your application, and then when you get to the comments section, that's where you're going to include the Wisdom Stories for Kids. Now, we're going to send you a link to this application too right after this masterclass. So if you're not where you can write it down, we got you on that one. So some of you here, you may have already submitted your application. So the good news is you don't have to submit a second application. Simply email us your savings code to support@adventuresinwisdom.com. We'll update your application for you. So again, adventuresinwisdom.com/apply, or just email us the savings code as well. By sending us the savings code, you're letting us know you're ready to talk with a success coach. You want those 2 bonuses, the extra $1,000 savings, which brings your investment to $39.97. Now, I want to share about 2 other packages that we have as options for you. What we found is that sometimes we have people coming into our community. They either have a nonprofit, they're already working with children, or maybe they've got an existing business that they don't need to get clients. They don't need help on that business side. So we have a package for you that doesn't include the Business Accelerator curriculum. So if you're not needing the business building side of things, you can invest in that package, and it's only $29.97. But then what we've also found is that sometimes we have coaches who really want to jumpstart their business, and they really want to have some one-on-one support. So we have some expert wisdom coaches who are on our team. They've already built their own successful businesses. So we've got a package that adds a 3-month jumpstart coaching program. It's going to have 8 one-on-one coaching sessions with an expert wisdom coach. So after you complete your certification, you can start that coaching process. Their full focus is on you during your coaching sessions. That package is $51.97. So if you're interested in either one of those packages, just talk with your success coach during your call, and together you can decide what would be the best path to start. By the way, for all 3 of these packages, your investment gets you certified and licensed for your first year. After your first year, there's a small annual renewal of only $297. So you have access to all of the training, the done for you materials, ongoing support in the community. We do have payment plans available as well, which you can talk with your success coach during your call. So next, I want to transition a little bit. I want to answer one of the questions we get asked a lot. And you might have this question for you as well. And that is, how long does it take me to earn my money back, to get an ROI or return on my investment? Well, whether your goal is to earn an extra $1,000, $4,000, or more each month, it's absolutely doable if you're in action and working on your business. The good news is you're the boss. You get to decide how much income you want to make. You get to decide how many clients you want to serve. It really is about creating a business that has you jumping out of bed in the morning and really excited about your life. One of the things that we emphasize in our success map and in the Business Accelerator is that when you're just getting started, pick one coaching package. It might have 6 or 7 skill books in it. One marketing strategy. We actually recommend reaching out to your personal network because it doesn't take any extra money, and it's the most effective way to start your business. And we're going to give you templates on exactly who to reach out to and what to say in your outreach, including email templates, and then repeat, repeat, repeat. Picking one coaching package and one strategy, it helps you stay really focused while you're gaining experience, you're building your confidence, and building that initial client base. This is exactly how most of our coaches have built their businesses. And your success map is going to guide you step by step. So I want to actually paint the picture here. Let's look at a specific example. Let's say you have a coaching package on building soaring self-esteem. Let's say it has 7 skill books in it. Very common for our coaches to offer a package like this for anywhere between maybe $497 to $897 per package. Let's use $497. We'll round it up to $500, make the math easy on me. Just 2 clients are going to earn you $1,000 in income. 4 clients, that's $2,000. And here's how it works. As your clients are finishing up that first package on self-esteem, Then you can offer them your next package, such as creating confidence, all while you're still bringing new clients into that first package on self-esteem. The nice thing about this process, you're staying really, really focused. So instead of feeling like you need to know all 27 skill books, you get to know that first 7, and then you get to know the next 5 or 6 at a deeper level. And so you're building your expertise and your confidence as you go. So you can see that if you're in action, it's only going to take a couple of months to earn your initial investment back. And if you choose a payment plan for your certification, you can actually start earning income to apply towards your payments. So just imagine helping kids and doing this type of work while earning some income, making a big difference in the world, and being your own boss. Many of our coaches have left unfulfilling jobs. They've created supplemental income. Some have even stepped into new full-time careers. And that's just the financial return on your investment. Probably one of the most powerful ROIs is your own personal growth and who you become as you travel this journey. And if you're a parent or a grandparent, or you have children in your life, it's the tools you're going to have to use with the children in your life as well. So what are your next steps? I know a lot of you here, you're ready to step into a new future for yourself and helping children create their future as well. We'd be honored to guide your way. So after this call, you're going to receive a link to the application page where you can take your next step. If you're watching the recording, just look down below the video. The application is going to be there too. And if you're feeling inspired, we invite you to apply and step into your future of helping children shape their future, because our kids, they're waiting for you. So we're about to open up to Q&A. Before we do, let me share with you how you can get that free self-talk skill book that Karen stepped you through earlier. If you're watching this live, it's going to be in a link that's sent to you right after today's call. If you're watching the recording, just glance down below and you'll be able to download it on the same page. So with that, why don't we go ahead and open up to the Q&A. Karen, I'll let you gather the questions and switch us over so we can see you.
Great. Thank you. And just a reminder, use that questions tool down at the bottom. All right. So we've got a lot of questions that have come in. The first one is, how quickly can I start coaching kids?
Really up to you. You're the boss. So once you enroll, you're going to receive everything you need to complete your certification. Most of our coaches will take a few weeks. I've had people go through in a weekend. I've had some take a couple months. You're the boss. It really is up to you as far as how fast you want to go through it. Go through everything, see what's there, request your test. That's going to take you through the learnings at a little bit deeper level. And then you'll get resources to all the business stuff so that you can be on your way to coaching kids in your own business.
Right. Okay. The next question is, I work full time. Can I realistically do this? Yes, you can, because I do. And so does Delia, who you saw in the video.
Yeah. I would say the vast majority of our coaches are employed when they get started, are employed somewhere else and start coaching on a part-time basis. For some, that's their goal. They just want to have a part-time business, helping kids. Others, their goal is to move into having their own full-time practice. It really is up to you, but absolutely you can. It might take you a little bit longer. You have to look at what your life situation is and how much time you're actually going to be able to devote to your business, but absolutely is possible.
Great. Okay. How do coaches actually price their services?
Pricing is such a big question. We have multiple trainings about this, not just the mindset of pricing, feeling confident charging what you're worth, which is, really foundational for a lot of people, especially when you're helping kids. Sometimes you're like, gosh, I'm, feeling confident charging for helping kids. Some people feel a little bit weird about that. So we want to help you with shifting your mindset around standing in your value and the impact that you're having on children. So we have the mindset side of things, but then we have the actual logistics. How do you think through this? How are pricing models structured for one-on-one coaching, small group coaching, workshops? So we're going to teach you all about that. But I will share one thing that we teach as core when it comes to packaging, pricing your services, is to structure your services around a certain transformation, like building self-esteem or building confidence. It's one of the reasons why we give you those coaching package templates. You can use those as is, or you can customize them if you want to adjust them a little bit. The beauty of a coaching package is it really helps parents understand what coaching is all about and how it's going to support their child. They understand what confidence is. They understand a 6-session package around building confidence. They understand what their child's going to learn and what the price for that package is. So again, we're going to support you in how to message that, talk about it so that you feel really confident about it. When it comes to actual numbers, Of course, we can't tell you how to charge. You have your own business, so you get to decide that. But I'll share with you some numbers. We've polled our coaches multiple times over the years to find out how they package, price, and structure, because our coaches are doing all kinds of things, from the one-on-one to small groups to the workshops to bringing in their own specialties, doing summer camps, to doing after-school programs. And what we found is that most of our coaches will charge anywhere from about 65 to 130-ish per hour for normal rates. Now, when people do launch pricing, sometimes it's lower than that. Sometimes we have coaches that are charging much more than that. Different things are factored into that, such as kind of the market or demographics of where they're actually coaching, expertise. If they're adding, let's say, some of our coaches are counselors and therapists, so they have additional expertise that they're able to offer. They might charge a little bit more, or they might specialize in supporting. You'll have specialized expertise, whether it's working with children who maybe have neurodiversity or certain learning differences, or just something that's really more of an expertise. But it's up to you ultimately as far as how you want to charge. I would say one of the biggest factors when it comes to pricing is confidence, is how someone feels about charging for their services. No right or wrong answer. You're the boss, but we have plenty of information to help guide you through how to think about that. A little bit long of an answer, but it's such a popular question. We have multiple trainings about that, including launch pricing, how to launch your business using a launch pricing strategy, and then how to increase your prices when you're ready to do that. Anything you want to add, Karen? That was long.
Well, no, that was long, but it's so true. And, I started out with launch pricing when I first started out. I was around $95 a session. It's easy to talk in sessions, but I always present packages and price by package. But now, depending on the number of sessions in a package, I'm kind of anywhere between about 145 to 175 a session. And it's because of the value I know I'm delivering, but also I like to provide notes following up after the sessions for the parents to help them gain insight on how their child is thinking and feeling. And so I'm really part of that parents team, and I'm a bridge between the child and parent. And parents absolutely love that. And I've never had anybody balk at price either, because now most of my business is referral based. And so we talked about in the Business Accelerator, we talk about, and also we talked a minute ago about when ROI, take a coaching package and focus on that, and then leverage your personal network to get started. And that's what I did, was I leveraged my personal network, because my children are grown up, so I don't have access to children. The first child I coached was a neighbor and then a friend's daughter, but then I was kind of like out of kids. So I had to leverage my personal network to find clients. And that's how I found clients. And very, very quickly, my whole practice has been referral based. So usually when I have a discovery session with a parent, they're already excited about coaching because they've heard about it from somebody, and they're coming in to have the conversation to get clarity on how I would support their child and what their situation is. So yes, launch pricing is a great way to start. And then focusing just on the coaching package is a great model, because then it's a value. And I usually name my coaching packages like, Mary's Confidence Package or something like that. And then you can increase your prices over time if you wish. And your pricing, it is going to depend on what market you are in and your confidence level and all of that. But yeah, so that's me. So that's a very long-winded, now that I've added my 2 cents. Okay, the next
It's an important one, though, because
it is, yeah.
Success on the business side means that kids are going to get coached. So that's
Right.
one of the reasons why we provide so many resources around this. And quite frankly, when I was starting Adventures in Wisdom, it took well over a year for me to get this thing going, because there were skills I didn't have, and selling was one of them. And I was like, this business is not going to sit on the shelf and not help kids. And so I invested in business training, a mastermind, to learn and develop these skills myself. I had a lot of limiting beliefs around selling, and I felt icky, and I didn't know how to have a conversation. I didn't want people to think I was, salesy and inauthentic. I mean, just all this kind of stuff. And I had to get over myself and develop these skills. And it's one of the reasons why, as we shifted into having a certification program and certifying you, our coaches, to use this work, I included so many support resources around business, marketing, the tools you need so that you would know step by step. You have creating the success map, step by step on how to create success in your business. And the resources have grown over the years. Like when Karen started coaching about 3 years ago, as she started deciding or uncovering different ways and better ways to support, we added that information into the resources for all of our coaches and additional training modules too. So, people, when they share and we see great ideas, it just lifts everyone. What is it? It's the rising tide lifts all boats
This
or
all
something like
shift.
that. We're here to lift
Yeah.
everything up. There's so many children who are needing support. And that's one thing I love about our community. There's not this competitive nature because we're all here to help kids. And it's just a beautiful thing to see how everybody supports each other in creating success with kids. So if you're stuck with a child, you just ask in the private Facebook group, and you're going to get multiple responses from coaches around the world about different approaches. And I'm in there, my team's in there. We're here to support you because we want you to be successful with kids. We want you to be successful on the business side.
Yeah, that's right. And so someone else asked, how do you find kids to coach? And we kind of touched on that a little bit about leveraging your personal network. Like that is, and we give you the resources. That's what I use. Like we had sample emails and texts that you send to people, but then you also provide them with the language on how to share with their network. And that second part is what's key because people will not know how to message what it is that you do. So if you tell them exactly what to say, all they have to do is copy and paste, and it makes it easy. But do you want to add anything else about how you find kids to coach? Because that's really important when you're people like me that don't have
One thing I
kids.
want to share is that coaching is what we call a know, like, and trust business. So parents are going to either directly know, like, and trust you, or they're going to want to know someone who know, likes, and trusts you and recommends you. And that's why networking is the number one way to start building your business and referrals for growing your business because it's a people business, it's a conversation business, it's a connection business too. And the beautiful thing is it doesn't cost any extra money. It's all about having connected conversations with people. And we share with you exactly how to go about that process.
Yeah, I've never run ads. I put a couple flyers up on community notice boards, but just my whole business has been through talking with people and connecting with people. Yeah. So, and that didn't cost anything. Okay, so lots more questions. Does this only work with kids up to 12 years old? And then somebody else asked about teenagers. So why don't you talk about age range a little bit?
Yeah, so when I created this curriculum, I was really wanting to reach children young. So elementary, early middle school, so about ages 6 through 12, 13-ish or so. And so the reason why we stay focused on that niche is one, to reach kids while they're young. Two, the curriculum's written at about a grade 4 level. Most of the scenarios and the stories are for kids who are a little bit younger. One thing that surprised me over the years is how many of our coaches use our work with teens and sometimes even their adult clients. And it's all about the power of stories and its impact when working and coaching another person. When our coaches work with teams, what they'll do is sometimes they'll adjust the scenarios, they'll definitely adjust the discussion questions. And sometimes teens will want to do art projects or some of the activities, and sometimes they won't. But coaches can also pull in some of the materials from the mentor's guide or even some of their own expertise as well. So what I recommend you do, if you're interested in using this work with teens, get that free skill book, the one about self-talk. Just see if it's something that you think is going to meet your needs. So, it's absolutely successful with teens and even grown-ups. It's amazing how creative our coaches are. But really, just try it out and see if it's going to work for you.
Okay, great. Thanks, Renee. All right, the next one, are there payment plans available and can I start coaching kids if I'm on a payment plan? You kind of touched on that, but maybe go ahead and
Yeah, so we have,
support
as a
one.
company, we have payment plans available that let you spread your investment over up to 4 months. And once you are enrolled and we have the first payment, you get access to everything you need to complete your certification. So you can start earning income and applying that income towards your payments if you're in action. If you're in the United States or Canada, we've teamed up with another company. It's called Coach Financing, and they have their own financing process, and they teamed up with different lenders. So for their company, you do have to go through an application process, so you have to have good credit. But if you apply through them, then you can actually spread your payments over like 12 to 24 months. So they have longer payment plan options, but you have to qualify and have good credit and et cetera to go through their process. And the limitation to US, Canada, that's them, not us. It's just what they have available there. So, if you're interested in a payment plan, there's your success coach can give you the details on that.
Okay, another question is, I have a nonprofit, so the first package without the business training looks good, but can I get the business accelerator later if I want it?
Yeah, so for each one of the coaching packages, we have an upgrade path between each one. I will say that if you come in with a core package, that's going to be your best deal. But yeah, if later you decide that you wanted to add the business accelerator, you can add that. Just like later, if you decide that you want to work one-on-one with an expert wisdom coach, we have different package options there to have that one-on-one coaching option as well.
Great. All right, this is the last question. Is this ICF certified?
Oh, yeah. So ICF, for those who don't know, is the International Coaching Federation. It's the largest professional organization that certifies both coaches as well as coach training organizations. So we're considered a coach training organization because we train in coaching skills. Now, we're considered more of a coaching specialty. So when you complete your certification, we're a continuing coach education provider. That's a CCE. So when you complete your certification, you can earn 18 resource development CCEs. So if you're on the ICF path, that might mean something to you. 18 resource development CCEs. If you're like, what is she talking about? And you're not on the ICF path, that's okay too. It's certainly not something that you need to do as a life coach for kids. A lot of times we have ICF coaches coming into our community. They're coaching adults. They want to add coaching for children as a specialty. And so they're interested in CCEs. So that's where that fits in. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Renee. That's the last question.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for spending part of your time with us. If you're feeling inspired and you would love to bring this type of work with children, just really create this ripple effect of goodness in the world, we invite you to submit your application. Add your savings code, Wisdom Stories for Kids. You put it in the comments section, or if you've already applied, just email it to support@adventuresandwisdom.com. We'd be so honored to guide you on your journey as you create this beautiful success with kids, as you create success in your business, and we celebrate you and social media and other places just to really help you do your work in the world, making this positive difference in the world with kids. And thank you so much for being here. Until next time, everybody, adventure well. Keep an eye on your inbox. We'll be sending you a link to the recording, the application page, the free story, so that you can start your journey. We'd be honored to support you. Adventure well, my friends. Bye-bye.